Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken them into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well.
I wouldn't have had the same appreciation for working with the essential oils.
Okay. Can you use these oils to stop an eviction?
Well, I wouldn't know on that one because I've never been evicted. So I don't have experience of that.
Lakhi Singh, do you think there's a potential of taking these life-changing oils and rubbing them on the forehead of one of the judges to convince him that somebody should not be evicted? Do you think it'll work?
I think there's a possibility because, funnily enough, although I know you're joking, I would say that a lot of judges that get caught up in treating people just like numbers, and they lose their humanity. So on a more philosophical level, I would say that giving them essential oils will probably give them a different energy, maybe help them to be more grounded and actually have more of a connection with the humanity, and may want to be a lot more look at things a bit on a social level rather than being very rudimentary in their verdicts over people who may have nowhere to go in their life from what they're going to be subjugated.
So excellent. That's more on the humanity side. Probably a good idea. Take a towel with you and take a bottle of oil with you and have the judge out on the desk and give him a back massage and convince him he needs to be more human and stop looking at these people as a digit. Probably a good idea. Carolyn Williams says she's loving the conversation. I think she's also being immersed in the energy that Deborah's because the energy that Deborah's got a wonderful personality about her. She's transmitting it through what's it now? What do we call it?
Frequency.
What's it called?
Frequency.
That's right. It's coming through the live stream from Deborah, and I think it's affecting Karen. She's loving the conversation. Okay, Deborah, now you spent 17 days there. Was this a momentary experience you had? That little thing that happened when you saw everything and it was all coming together? Did you go back to normal after that, or have you stayed in that zone? Have you been able to keep the essence of that experience? Coming back and playing with oil, was that because of that, or is that something else that's happened on your journey back?
Right, so there's a couple of questions there. So when I came back to the UK after, I was actually traveling in South America for 11 months in total. And
so you were in South America for 11 months?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So why did you leave the retreat? Were you kicked out because of your discipline or something? Were you,
It was a retreat. So the retreat was for a specific amount of time, and then we went to Cusco, and then I went to Machu Picchu, and then I stayed in Cusco for 5 weeks, wanting to integrate everything that I had sort of experienced.
Right. What experience was that?
Journal every day, and then I wanted
you had an experience in Costa, you say?
Cusco.
So you mean the supermarket, the supermarket. Was that like an argument with the tiller or someone didn't give you what you wanted, or didn't have the prices marked properly on the tills? What was that?
Cusco it's one of the big cities in Peru.
Right. Okay. So you went to Costco and you had an experience there. What was that experience about?
Integrating, and I made a lot of friends in Cusco. I stayed there for a while, and then went traveling around, to like different sites. I wanted to see the country, sort of.
Do you find that you're a person who's receptive to the environment around you? Are you like a bit of an antenna? Are you like the 5G of humans, sort of picking up things? Extra sensory perception. Is that what you have?
Well, I think everybody has that to a certain extent. Like, you could go to a certain place and you can get good vibes, you can get bad vibes about the place. Like, I went to a place in Bolivia called La Paz, which was really, really dark energy. I didn't like it there at all. I got a very, very bad feeling about the place. And so I didn't.
Which place was that?
What place? La Paz in Bolivia.
La Paz.
Yeah.
Okay, bad feelings about La Paz. Okay, and what was that?
Just the whole energy of the place.
Okay, so you go around. So are you saying that you've experienced the energy levels around the world, wherever you've been, and certain places transmit a positive energy? And has this any bearing on ley lines? Are these the same things? Are they things that you also get affected by the ley lines?
So ley lines are energy around the world, and transmitting energy from different sites. So yeah, I do work with ley lines. Like in Glastonbury, for example, at Chalice Well, you've got two ley lines, so the Michael and Mary line that cross. And I love to go to stone circles and places like that where the ancients worshipped, and sort of what I found was that working in the Amazon, it gave me an insight to tap into the consciousness of a place. And so like, I go to Stanton Drew Stone Circle, for example, in Somerset. And the first time I went there, I got a really, really strong feel. I was there by myself, and I actually got 16 poems through from the standing stones. They gave me messages for humanity. And I get poems from trees as well by tuning into the tree and connecting with the consciousness of the tree, because they're wise beings. And, a lot of people don't realize that everything has its own consciousness, and we can learn from them.
Actually, what happened is I did a training course on NLP once, and we did quite a lot of meditation work. And they actually taught us how to actually see the consciousness of a tree. So you could see the whites around a tree.
Yeah,
so you've got to be in a fairly deep state of meditation to be able to do that.
Excellent. Okay.
So I think a couple of people were able to do it. I don't think I got to that stage, because you've got to be in quite a deep level of consciousness. A very deep level of consciousness.
Okay. So, Lakhi, you were able to see the white lines outside of a tree.
I think I'm able to see that in if you do a fair amount of meditation, you can see it around people.
Okay, right. Okay.
You can see the auras around people if you're in quite a deep state of meditation. But you've got to be, practicing your meditation regularly and practicing getting into deeper level of one of the deepest levels of consciousness to be able to do that. So I think there's a lot of how do you say, misinformation around health and well-being, or you could sort of say lack of knowledge around it. So a lot of people wouldn't really understand anything around consciousness, around plants or humans, in terms of being able to see it even. I think but a lot of the knowledge that I think Deborah is sharing is actually well known in the magic industry, where they actually use it to manipulate, to be able to show as if they know lots of things, but reality they're using a lot of access to people's consciousnesses to be able to tell people what they're thinking, these sort of things. So
excellent. Can you tell me what I'm thinking, Deborah, now?
No.
Okay. Right. Okay. Anyhow, so what we have Zubair Khushi, who gives us a big smiley. He's got a big smiley on because he's enjoying the conversation. I think a lot of people are probably mesmerized by Deborah and her sense of free will. How are you finding it living back in sunny Burnley when you have all of this lockdown going on, the constraints of the big brother telling you you can't sit with more than 1.5 people. So technically you have to look for one and a midget to be able to sit with 1.5 people. Otherwise you can't be sitting together. You have to be, it will be regarded as being harmful. So how do you cope in that environment with the person of your consciousness?
Lockdown for me has led to many, many changes because I have a nomadic lifestyle. In 2016,
you've got lots of friends in the tree world, you mean? Lots of friends who are happy to give you their tree or their bark to live under.
Well, I actually set up a house and pet sitting business, and I was running my essential oil business online up until COVID came along. And then all my pet sitting jobs cancelled. So I then came to stay with my father up in Burnley. And I've been here ever since. And I had 2 months when I was really, really still. I always follow my intuition, and I just got this message from the universe just to be still and to do nothing, which is what I did. And what was interesting is my essential oil business did better without me than me working in it. So that was an interesting lesson for me. But during that time, a friend sent me a video to a new piece of technology. And she said, Deborah, I know you're into energy and vibration and raising consciousness. She said, have a look at this video. I thought of you when I saw it. And I watched it and I started getting tingles all over. And I researched this technology. And I after 2 days of researching the company, the inventor, the technology, I invested in my own device. It's like a frequency generator. And this has ended up being like just since May, when I invested in my own device, I've now ended up with like a business which has expanded to like 8 or 9 different countries. I've got about 180 people on my team, and we're marketing this device in to over 45 different countries. So it's really exciting technology. So for me, the lockdown has been a blessing.
Excellent. Okay, so the universe asked you to stay
The funny thing about the technology, Vijay Sal, is that about 8 or 9 years ago, I worked with a gentleman called Constantine, and they had a prototype of this technology at that time. And but since then, I think they've really developed it and made it more accessible. So I think yourself and I actually went to see this practitioner, and he showed us how it all worked, and we did a pretty much a whole day session where he went through checking our auras, chakras, checking the level they vibrate at, but also giving us a picture of our complete health diagnosis of all our organs in terms of what level they're vibrating at. So the most amazing thing is that as soon as going back to energy, I think Deborah only spoke on Thursday last week. And as soon as I saw the word frequency, I sort of realized what it was about, but intuitively, not necessarily realizing what it was about. So since then, Deborah and I have connected, and we're going to be helping to actually share her knowledge and experience in terms of rolling this out so that other people can benefit. But a lot of government agencies and a lot of let's just say bureaus tend to use this sort of tech to optimize the ability of their high-end employees. Is my guess. It's not necessarily proven that they do that, but I'm pretty certain of it. So if you can bring this to the product here, I think Deborah can probably explain it maybe a bit more in another interview. But the technology is out of this world, so there isn't anything like it. So one of the issues,
you probably have to book a shuttle out to get
possibly,
the technology,
because it's not something that's understandable or comprehensible by most people in terms of what it is and what it can do. So I'm gonna stop stealing Deborah's thunder now. She can continue and tell us more. But I thought I'd give you my little take on it.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so talking about vibration, and Lakhi, who is himself a vibrating man of knowledge, an expert in the fixing of various matters. Deborah, right, so I think we've deviated from the topic today. I think your stories, I think you're a free soul, as it is, who's got lots of trees as friends around the country. Any experiences, any relationship issues with any of the trees in Burnley that you've undergone since COVID? Have you sort of like because you've been told by the universe to stand still? Are any of the trees missing you, or are they? Do you talk to your trees?
Well, before approaching permission, and you get permission from the tree to connect with it, and you if you get that permission, you can go and commune with the tree. I love tree hugging. I'm a tree hugger, and I'm proud of it. It's like we have this symbiotic relationship because we exhale, the carbon dioxide. Trees inhale carbon dioxide. Trees.
It's like a gel relationship.
You may have missed this, but about a week ago, I posted on the Alternative Property Solutions community me hugging a tree.
Thank you.
And I'm saying, is it healthy and wise to be hugging trees, or is it bonkers? Then I wrote underneath it, I don't think it's bonkers. I love hugging trees.
Oh, look, it's
that's a coincidence, isn't it?
There you go.
It's a coincidence. I know. I'm just going to bring up something. It's the last 2 minutes, so I'm not going to get caught up in another long, interesting conversation with Deborah. But interesting, we had a client we were talking to a while ago who apparently had cut down a tree outside of his local restaurant and was fined by the local council. And one of the things that happened during that process of him being prosecuted for cutting the tree down was a tree psychologist was employed to work out how much stress had been caused to the tree. So I think it probably relates back to you, Deborah, in terms of there actually are people working in the council who are psychologists for the trees, who probably manage their stresses, because they're living in a society that's built up around the city now with all the fumes and the exhaust and the pollution. Are you finding complaints coming back from the trees that you connect with? Are they saying, look, tell these people to cut down on all the pollution? Are you getting?
Yeah, I haven't personally met the tree.
You haven't had a personal relationship with a tree?
I haven't had that conversation with the tree.
No conversation.
Yeah.
But do you feel?
Maybe I should.
Do you feel the stress they are under?
They are.
I think, Deborah, you need to branch out.
Very good.
Okay. I think you need to be mindful of the fruit that you're taking from Deborah's tree. You need to be careful.
I think you need to get uprooted.
Last 30 seconds, I'm going to say thank you so much, Deborah. You are somebody who's got a lot of informative, interesting information, not all about eviction, but we have learned today from obviously listening to Lakhi Singh and Deborah that it may be a good idea to walk in with a towel and a pair of flip-flops to the local court and convince the judge that he needs a massage with some of these oils that she has to allow him to stop the eviction. And if you can't do it that way, contact Lakhi Singh, the alternative business and property solutions community, to find out how to do it in a more clinical way. Thank you so much for your time, Lakhi Singh. Deborah, we've got a special guest on tomorrow. I've already mentioned her name, can't remember it, but I'll remember it tomorrow. We will have her on and look forward to seeing then Lakhi Singh, the Property Fixer, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every morning with the alternative business and property solutions community.